Hi, and welcome to the first grade curriculum preview for the fifth 6 weeks. Our units of study in this 6 weeks are spring celebrations, which fit into the calendar. Those aren't 2 days together. Technology, past, present, and future, natural resources, and landforms. So for spring celebrations, it's suggested for 2 days, and it's in accordance with the calendar. So here are guiding questions. So you can see Easter is really the spring celebration we'll be looking at for the most part. Again, that key vocabulary, we want to talk about celebrations, customs, and traditions. And it's really important that we compare customs and traditions and see what is the same and what is different. If you happen to have students in your room that celebrate something other than Easter, definitely go ahead and talk about those holidays if you have students that celebrate Passover or something else in the spring. Here are key events. Went ahead and added St. Patrick's Day and Mother's Day. You have your I Spy cards and stations if any of those fit. United streaming videos. Reading Rainbow has an excellent episode about Rashinka's eggs. And Max's Chocolate Chicken, which is a Max and Ruby episode, and then the Number Crew, which is all about doing math with Easter eggs, so we could maybe get a little integration there. Here are the Reading A to Z titles that are appropriate for first grade. There may be a few more if you went down to kinder or up to second, depending on your students' reading levels. Here are some websites. Our Fort Worth stockyards have some Easter events that are specific to our area. The White House Easter egg roll is an American tradition. And then I am worried I'm going to say this wrong, but cascarones. The confetti eggs are a tradition for many of our families. So those are some things we can compare and contrast. For technology, first we're looking at changes to the way we live and then changes to the way we work. Here are guiding questions. So how have appliances changed the way families live? How do people move from one place to another? So we're really looking at how technology has changed our lives. So here's our key vocabulary. So one of the key concepts that kids need to have solidified for them is past, present, and future. So we might look at how mail traveled in the past, like the Pony Express, how it does in the present, and how it might travel in the future, which gives kids the chance to imagine and innovate. I want to also highlight the word recreation. Throughout several grade levels and in several TEKs, it talks about recreation, communication, and transportation. Our kids really know the word communication and the word transportation. Recreation is not a word that they're as familiar with, and it's one that we need to teach directly. So we talk to kids about recreation or things like sports and playing at the park and things we do for fun, so that they have this vocabulary word as they move through the grade levels. So key people and events, inventors, innovators, and families. So United Streaming, there's Away We Go, which is all about transportation. Bill Nye has a great video about communication on NBC Learn. On United Streaming and NBC Learn. We have some writers that reenact the Pony Express, the rising costs of the Postal Service, and then there are lots of great kids' books about these topics. So here are some titles from Reading A to Z. So natural resources is our next unit. This integrates a great deal with science. Here are guiding questions. So I love these two guiding questions at the bottom. What natural resources did you use last night at home? And what natural resources did we use today at school? These could be anchor charts that you add to all throughout this unit, um, because I think often we forget how many different ways we use natural resources. You know, I use water when I brush my teeth. I use water when I flush the toilet. I use water when I take a shower. Um, I'm even using water when I drink a soda because they used water to make it. So lots of different things to chart. Here's our key vocabulary. And several of these they'll be familiar with from science. Our key people and events, consumers, families, communities, and producers. Some resources. We have these two videos from United Streaming, and then how it's made is on the Science Channel, and it has on their website like 5 to 10 minute clips from their TV show How It's Made. You do have to be selective because sometimes the video might be how guns are made or how wine is made or the specific beer is made. So you want to choose which one you show, um, but they can be a lot of fun. How crayons are made, how bacon is made, little tiny music boxes, those sorts of things. So next is landforms, and we're going to look at physical characteristics of place and human characteristics of place. And this is a really important concept that we're just beginning to look at in first grade. So the physical characteristics of place um, are, you know, location, the topography, the elevation, the climate, those kinds of things. And then the human characteristics of place are how people have adapted as well as how people modify their environment. So in Galveston, people have built a seawall to keep the ocean back. That is a human characteristic of place. So here are some guiding questions. Our key vocabulary. And here are some resources. United Streaming, and then we have some websites, some reading A to Z titles, and these should be on or about a first grade level. I only picked titles that I thought your kiddos could use. And then our integration strategy for this 6 weeks are illustrated notes. This is a second grade example, but with first grade text, kids can annotate also, underline the important parts, draw a picture to help them understand. This is a strategy that my oldest daughter uses still to this day, and she's a junior in high school. She draws pictures in the margins, just quick little jots that help her remember what she's read. I just want to remind you that I'm here. If you have questions, you can shoot me an email at dawn.fielder@birdvilleschools.net, or you can give me a call at extension 5680. I can help you find resources if you answer questions, or if you just need a thinking partner to plan with. I'm always happy to do that. So I hope things are going well. I know this is a long stretch of the school year. I am just excited and looking forward to seeing the great social studies that's going on in your classrooms. Have a great day.